Hello, thank you for your comment asking about what is it that blocked our DNA in the first place, because we are meant to be immortal. As soon as we go beyond the 3D, all of our other dimensional selves are immortal. So what caused us to have that forgetfulness in our DNA? What caused us to be cut off from all of those other parts of our DNA that are coming back online? So if you listen to the Lisa Renee narrative, the Ashiana Dean narrative and stuff, there's all these stories about like the negative alien agenda, which is completely true. However, I want to de-emphasize that, because at the point in humanity where we are now, we need to be moving into intergalactic peace. So you could look at Earth and you could be like, oh, the white people are bad, and you could say, or whatever that even means. It's an oversimplification. Or you could say like all the Anglo people or whatever, right? But that's not the full story. And so in order to have world peace, we have to integrate all these different aspects of our self as an individual and bring them all back into the oneness with love. And then we also need to understand, it's not like, oh, the Lyrans and the Orions and these are the bad aliens and stuff. And sure, there probably are bad aliens, and sure, there's a lot of humans who have done horrible things on Earth. But we're not going to come to a place of global and intergalactic and inner peace by still fighting these external demons. So from what I know from my work in psychology and Tibetan Buddhism, is that everything is an aspect of our holographic mind. So I can have an externalized enemy. It could be, the authoritarian, my mean dad, or it could be like the police or whatever, right? And so that is an aspect of my mind, because it could be that someone else doesn't have a problem with that. It could be lots of people think that those things are helpful or those things are nice. So it's existing as a part of me. And in order to heal that, I have to bring it back into myself. So yes, the human DNA was distorted and there was an amnesia placed on it. And as you begin to awaken to your multidimensional self and speak to your DNA, it's important that you speak to your DNA, heal your DNA, awaken, speak to your cells, speak to your body, and you'll begin to remember. But in order to make it through, the fourth dimension is the astral plane. The astral plane is full of shadows and scary beings, and a lot of people who have schizophrenia get stuck there. So in order to pass through the astral plane successfully, to get from the 4D to the 5D and beyond, is really what we're anchoring in. We're not going out, we're really just bringing it in, because it's always there. But to get through that 4D, which is the realm of shadows and spirits and demons and stuff like that, we have to elevate every single aspect of that into its exalted form. So, for example, all of my ancestors still live and vibrate in my DNA, and they're still alive, and they're sending me messages, and they're sending me power, they're sending me diseases if there's unresolved things. So I need to honor. And so currently, like where I am with all of this is that I'm currently going through a very methodical practice of honoring the lines of my 4 grandparents. Like I have an altar for each one, and I'm spending time with them, and I'm listening to them, seeing, because we're coming out of a dark age. So I'm seeing like what was unresolved for each one, because anything that's unresolved is going to be manifesting as sickness, as mental illness, as cancer, as schizophrenia, or whatever, depending on your lineage, as ghosts in your house, So we need to listen to these aspects, to honor these aspects. And the Hawaiian prayer of Ho'oponopono is a hugely powerful tool. I might sound like a broken record recommending it for everything, but it's a kind of like a cheat code to the universe to bring things back into order, to reestablish order. And so what I do for each of the 4 lines is I'll become my grandparent. I'll pretend that I'll go into the consciousness of my grandparent, whether dead or alive. And then I will bow down to the Tao, to the creation creator, to the oneness that connects us all. And then as that aspect of consciousness, I will say, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I will repeat this for weeks, for months, for however long it takes until it feels resolved. And as I'm doing this, anything that they did that was disharmonious in their life, whether this was to their spouse, to their children, to, uh, it could be even like a different, yeah, just whoever, more out, further out, like colonial things or whatever, anything that was disharmonious. And every single lineage at this point in history has disharmonious things, whether this just be like male female conflicts or whatever. Like there's so much conflict that we're resolving at this point. So I just repeat it until that aspect of consciousness, I feel as them, they didn't have the tools to do this, but I do. So I go back and I do it on their behalf, and I feel that I'm bridging their consciousness with this tool for harmonization, right? So then when it comes to the negative aliens who distorted our DNA, we have to also see them as aspects of the one God, the one creator mind, just another aspect of ourselves. So anything that appears bad or scary or external or attacking needs to be treated with compassionate understanding, and that's how it actually heals and comes back into its exalted form and can actually become some kind of helpful aspect for our psyche. And then it can be empowering, and we have access to more of the universe to dance and play and create in. So I hope that was helpful. Yeah, the negative alien agenda is real, but at this point we need to find a way for intergalactic peace. So that's my 2 cents on that. Thank you for tuning in. Check out my YouTube page, has a lot of free meditations, and the link is in the bio. And thank you for tuning in. Blessings on your path.